Yo, everyone. So it has come to my attention. My last video about the sacred geometry. I actually want to thank. I forget your name, but you kind of went in on your boy here with your comment, and at first I was like offended, like, how dare you come on my channel with that kind of energy, accusing me of crap. And then she told me to look up Daisy of Death, Pillars of Light, Daisy of Death. And I looked at someone who cast a spell with the Daisy of Death energy, which means fire. It's what is it? Energy and fire. I didn't want to put that in my description box, but I did put the explanation of Daisy of Death. So it breaks down a lot of different terms, but when I saw the video, there was a lot of wordings that people, but the narrator put out some words. But those words, if you did gematria codes, you would actually find the synchronicities of those numbers. But I wanted to point something out. This is an actual real sacred geometry because for the first thing, I'm actually going to ruin this. Notice how I did not start. Let's do this here. It would be different if I put the star here and I went over. Thus, I would have a pentagram, 2, 3. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. 2, 3, 4, 5. So notice how this is Saturn. Saturn worship. It's the cube because the sacred geometry of this gives you the box, the cube, right? The 4 walls. So you see this, and I think the police, not the police, but the, is it? I forgot what the police badges are, but they have, it's something like that. But still on the inside you have is it hexagram, pentagram? I don't know. I don't know the words. But in my sacred geometry, I started at the base of the ascended pyramid. So if you see here, what I was getting was this is a symbol of ascension. And it is also the symbol of deception. Deception means sending people into the wrong reality, sending them over to somewhere else. So every time you see these triangles, it's best not to utilize them. It's best not to call on them. It's best not to pray to them. But they are in the skies. You can't miss them. But the ones that you see in the skies, they're there for a reason. And then you see the ones that are obvious. So you don't know who's who, good or evil, and blah, blah, blah. I don't know if you guys watch Sailor Moon, but I was watching Sailor Moon on Hulu because I'm feeling like there's a calling to watch that new season, Sailor Moon Crystal, on Hulu. And you notice how Rini, or that's how we all know her as Rini, but I don't know her name, but they call her the rabbit. Notice how they call her the rabbit, which also means taking advantage of the young, the innocent. They put them in the pagan philosophy, the pagan worship. But they're trying to find out if she was the enemy or if she was on their side. But then you find out that the black, spoiler alert, you find out that the black moon was a moon of nemesis. And that nemesis was coming in, and it was taking the energy of the people in their town. I know her as Rini, but she had the key to unlock the energy. Same as what I was just watching the episode today. Same as these. They say sacred geometry to get you to not utilize sacred geometry, and they say it's used by evil and it's satanic because they want you to not utilize it. If they take what's yours and turn it against you, guess what? You're not going to use it. These are our own gifts, but not from this geometric form. This is the one that I got because the so below starts at the base of the ascension. And you guys can, or whoever is negative about it, I didn't make this up. I don't do these things. If you follow my whole channel, I've never talked about sacred geometry. I've always stayed away from it. And the spirals, those are mandalas. The words that I got was mandala. And then you have the petals of life, not the flower of life. I've said this many times. I said this in a couple videos, but I've never talked about sacred geometry. I've only talked about mandalas, and I drew one up there. Same thing there. There's no, that's a prism, and I talked about it in the video. Same thing here. The outer skirts of here is a prism. That is 6D. That is the density of the 6th. The internal of this is in the 5th. We are crystallizing ourselves in our ascension process. This is how you, it's weird because I've never done this before, but I feel like I've done this before if I can tap into, who knows. But the 5D is on the internal of the prism. And then you have diamonds. This is a diamond right here. And my guides never fail me. Yeah, there's a pyramid there. Yeah, there's a pyramid there. This is the as above, so below. What's happening up there is also causing down here. But in the center, you even see a heart right here. Let's see if you guys can see this. Even below, there's a heart here. There are hearts all over. That's what sacred geometry is. It should have been used for. Thoth, Toth, Thoth, whatever you want to call it. These petals of death, as what you're calling, because I'm not, I don't know, I don't want to explain it. I don't need to justify myself. But there was just a comment that could have been seen as negative in my last video. And then you can't not see that there's a crescent moon here and that there is rays of the sun here. So you have to look at the messages of how they're being revealed. You can't take it literal. If you go, oh, I can't do that, that's sacred geometry, that's satanic, then guess what? They just taught you how not to use your own gift. And it's a free will. Did I not explain that in the last video? But we are shifting into 5D, which is the diamond. And then after that, the 6th root race is the 6th density. I'm sorry, the 6th root race is in the 5 dens. And then the 7th, which is the last root race of humankind, is in the 6th dimension. That is the prism. And all of these, you can't argue. It's a diamond. I even said it in my last video, and I think something's trying to communicate and let me know that all of these symbols, when you have this pyramid on its own, or you have the whoever show you these things, they're telling you, you guys can't worship that because we own that symbol. If they put inferiority complex behind it, it stops us from going into our truth. They hijack the stories. I have proof of this too. I'm going to put in my description box. You had two different stories. This was hijacked. This was hijacked. And then they just put a guy named Moses on it. And it took people into the system. It took people into the salvation is death. Die to this world, blah, blah, and blah. That is the daisy of death. As you're talking, it's the law and the order. It's the prison. Whereas taking the hermetics, taking their free will, it kind of sort of just, I don't know how to explain that any other way than showing you the evidence. This was a video I posted yesterday. So to that person who had a lot to say, you really have to, you can't just comment on the video what you think is true or not, and then not like go through a couple videos before. Because if you're just tuning into my channel and my videos, you're coming in too late. A lot of people can vouch for me and say that there has been a progression of the same message, but it's evolving every time that I push record. And how could you say that, I practice Satanism and evil and whatever when there's a cross on my... Where are you? Let's see. I don't know why I'm trying to prove my point. I'm just tired of being... I guess it's what I signed up for with YouTube. But people attack, and I don't like it. Don't like negative comments. There's a cross there with a heart. The symbolism is, you see the fire and the energy, right? So there you go with the symbolism of the daisy again. But you have 3 binary systems above the sun, which we will soon see. And I will come back to this and prove it to you guys. I have the earth below. The mother of mercy. I don't worship or practice anything. I don't pray to Mary. But I know that her presence and her essence, even just having the statue, it just shows a remark of wanting to have mercy in your life. There's a dove on my candles there. I have pure frankincense in that little container below. So please don't be negative on my channel. That's not cool. I don't like negative comments. All right, so on a positive note, let's leave this way. All things lead to truth. That's just what it is. All things lead to truth. It's the 101000110. We all are getting that. And I think people who are on a high density level of in tuning and channeling, you really want to start following them. Witchy vibes. She's a great person to follow. I forget the other people that are very in tune. I'm going to put someone in the description box below, a few people, so that way people can get a full retrospect of, if you guys can follow what they're posting and you follow what I'm posting, you see that we're all on the same page. But it's like everyone is working a different department, but it's for the same company. So that's all I'm going to leave you guys with. I need to go to bed. I have to be up at 5 a.m. So if the references of the people that I'm mentioning are not in the description box tonight or today, check back tomorrow. I have to do some digging. Take care, everybody. And to the person who commented my last video, thank you. You inspired a new video.